very much so. Although I'll also tell you, I don't think even the ancient wheat was very good for us either. If you look at medical anthropology, they can tell when societies go from a hunter-gatherer society to a farming society because people got shorter, they developed arthritis, and they developed bad teeth.
That's interesting.
So then we further modified the grain, and we've made it into a more toxic compound.
I noticed in your book you're also very much committed to a detox program.
Yeah, we're all toxic. Some of us are going to be more toxic than others in our clinical trial. I would also say the diet, the Wahls diet, is great for detox in a very nice, slow, gentle way. One of the hazards of detox, if you do it too quickly, you pull it out of the fat faster than what your liver and kidney can handle. What you'll end up doing is redistributing those toxins to your brain and your heart.
Is that a fact?
You have to detox at a pace that your liver and kidney can handle, or you're shifting toxins from your fat stores to your brain and heart.
Is that a fact, or is that just something you've noticed through observation?
No, that's a fact.
Wow.
When you go through a chelation process, that can be very tough. And people are having these healing crises.
Right, they have die-off in the body.
Die-off in the body.
Right.
So if you have some die-off, Herxmeyer, from the Candida dying, but there's also the healing crisis from the toxins being sucked out of the liver and redeposited into the brain.
I noticed that you are big with kale. I love kale, and I'm sure many of our listeners do. 700 to 1,000 grams a day of kale. Okay, how many bowls of that?
So what I have is basically 2 platefuls of greens. So, I have a big plate heaped high. We also do kale chips, so it's shrunk by half. I would make the observation that it's best to rotate. So kale today, lettuce tomorrow, spinach the next day, and then kale or collards. So I want to have greens, but I think it's most ideal to have a different green every day.
For the variety.
God loves variety, and so should we.
Now, there's an area of Minding My Mitochondria where you kind of put the brakes and a cautionary texture to supplementing. I was kind of surprised, but I understand where you're coming from. But talk a little bit about that. You're okay for supplementing for certain things, but I notice a tremendous reserve in you in the book about supplementing with vitamins and minerals that are not part of food that you're eating. Why?
Well, I have several observations to make.
Okay.
Food is always safe. Well, food is much safer because we're more likely to have the nutrients in a complete form. Folate, for example, there are several folate-like molecules, all of which are biologically active. So having the green plant folate as opposed to the pill version, the green plant's going to be superior. Vitamin C from your lemon will be superior to vitamin C in your capsule.
Unless, of course, it's lipospheric vitamin C.
So the synthetic vitamins, when they are synthesized, they are not going to have the same energy, the same vibrational state, or, in my mind, the same efficacy in the body. The other problems, when I begin to supplement, we'll talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D, critical. In my practice, I put people on vitamin D.
D or D3?
D3.
Okay.
And we followed their levels. As you replace someone's vitamin D, now you may get them out of proportion with their vitamin A and vitamin K. If you're taking a lot of greens, that's going to take care of your vitamin K. If you're having a lot of organ meat, that will take care of your vitamin A.
Something that most of us don't do is eat a lot of organ meat.
No, we don't eat a lot of organ meats. We'll talk about zinc, copper, and iron. If you take only one of those minerals, you can get the other two out of proportion. Iodine and selenium. If you take a lot of iodine, which can be very helpful with detox, you can get a proportional problem with if you don't have enough selenium. So, for that reason, I was trying to put the brakes on that. Supplements are okay, But you really need to have someone guide you so you don't create these nutritional problems because of difficulty with balance.
A naturopath that I interviewed said it's called fractionalization with supplementing. So many people fractionalize the way they supplement, so they don't eat enough of the right foods, and then they pick different things to take as a supplement, and that's the fractionalization of supplementation that doesn't work.
Yes, I mean, they absolutely get themselves into trouble. And to think that I can eat crap and fix it with a pill, completely wrong. You have to fix the food. And if you go paleo, you eat organ meats, you eat the way our ancestors ate. When we've done the nutritional analyses on my diet in prep for our study, the registered dietitians were stunned because I exceeded the recommended daily allowance for all of the nutrients, with the exception of vitamin D, which you don't expect to get in your food anyway. So I exceeded that by a factor of 1.5 to 20, depending on the nutrients. They're like, oh my God, they'd never seen anyone who had such a balanced and good diet.
That's extraordinary. Do I dare ask what your food bill is every month? Now, I know you have a whole family, so it's not fair to ask you that.
I can't really tell you. I will make the observation. So, in 2007, I'm on disease-modifying drugs, spending thousands of dollars every month on my drugs, and thinking I was going to have to go out on disability. There was a real possibility that I was going to be in a nursing home. The specter of this huge financial burden was very great. Now, 4 years later, I'm no longer on any disease-modifying drugs.
That's great.
I'm not facing the specter of going out on disability, and I'm not facing the specter of nursing home care ultimately.
That's fantastic.
So when people raise this is expensive, my response is we will all absolutely will pay for the food choices we make. We pay now for food that tastes great and gives us youth, energy, vitality, or we pay for a lot of junk food, white flour, white sugar that will destroy our health, lead to more doctor bills, surgeries, disability, and nursing home care.
You're really right. It's just a question of when you do it. Talk a little bit about the fish oils. A lot of people have been concerned about whether they should take fish oils or not. I mean, there's a big fish oil craze, first of all. Many of us are told have salmon 3 times a week and also take fish oils. Some people are taking flax. And I notice in your book you said you get much better absorption, 40% better absorption than you do with flax oil. Why?
Yeah, so my body can convert the flax oil, the omega-3 in flax oil, hemp oil, walnut oil, over eventually through many steps to docosahexaenoic acid and icosapentaenoic acid. Those are DHA, EPA. And those are structures that all of my cells need to make the nice lining around the cell, and my brain needs to insulate the wiring between cells. So I can take about 5% of the long-chain omega-3 fatty acid in flax oil and get it converted over to EPA and DHA. If I'm pregnant, that number can go up to 7, sometimes 10%.
Totally different.
So if I have fish oil, you can look on the capsule. It will tell you how much EPA and DHA is in that capsule. One can work with their doc to know how much they should be taking. Typically, a gram of EPA, DHA is a target that many psychiatrists and cardiologists would now recommend. In general, that's like 2 tablespoons of flax oil or a couple of 2 1-gram capsules of fish oil. I also make the observation that it's the ratio omega-3 to omega-6 fats that are really important. So if the person doesn't change their use of vegetable oils, fried foods, corn-fed meats, the ratio will still be really screwed up, and they'll have way too many omega-6s. So in addition to taking some fish oil, switching to grass-fed meat, wild fish, one needs to eliminate vegetable oils from the diet and eliminate grain-fed meats.
So when you say vegetable oils, do you also mean olive oil?
Olive oil, I